Have you ever been in a relationship where instead of feeling loved, you felt trapped, like you were being monitored all the time? That's what my life turned into. My name is Leia, I'm 22 years old, and honestly, I'm worn out from people painting me as the villain. Everyone makes it sound like I ruined everything, when in reality all I wanted was something simple, space to breathe, to feel alive again. But nobody seems to remember what it feels like to be young and desperate for freedom. I was with Ethan, who's 25, though some days he carried himself like a cranky old man twice that age. We had been together for nearly 2 years, sharing this tiny apartment where every single conversation about money turned into another one of his complaints. And whenever I tried to bring up going out, seeing friends, or just doing something fun, it turned into an exhausting argument. I work in a busy downtown restaurant, constantly on my feet, constantly stressed, and when one of my co-workers, Lily, invited me to her birthday dinner, I felt like it was finally a chance to let go and enjoy myself. Ethan didn't see it that way. He has this dull office job that drains him, and he comes home too tired to do anything but sulk. The second I mentioned Lily's birthday, I watched his expression harden. It was the same look he always gave me, as if I'd just admitted to some crime. Then the questions began. Who's going? Where is it? What time will you be back? Sometimes it felt like I was dating a parent instead of a partner. I told him it was just co-workers, nothing wild, but he still dragged it out with little comments about how much we'd been fighting lately. Of course we'd been fighting. He'd grown possessive, dull, and made me feel suffocated. Eventually, he grudgingly said I could go, but he carried this sour energy like I'd betrayed him. You'd think I asked permission to cheat instead of going to a birthday dinner. That night I put more effort into myself than I had in months. Hairstyled, makeup on point, slipping into a dress that gave me back some confidence. For once, I actually felt beautiful. Ethan barely even looked at me, only muttering something about not forgetting my curfew. At the restaurant, the atmosphere was a complete contrast to what I'd left at home. Everyone was buzzing, excited, laughing. There were about 8 of us, including a newer hire, Liam. He was only 20, but he had this magnetic personality. Funny, full of energy, always making work shifts easier. While Ethan kept texting me nonstop during dinner, I sent back a quick, everything's fine, but refused to be glued to my phone. I wasn't doing anything wrong. I just wanted to enjoy myself. After dinner, Lily suggested we check out this new nightclub. For a moment, I thought about heading home, but deep down I knew this was exactly the kind of night I needed. The second we stepped inside, the pounding music, flashing lights, and buzzing energy made me feel alive again. We danced, laughed, ordered drinks, and celebrated like there was no tomorrow. Liam kept the energy going, making sure everyone was having fun, buying shots, pulling me back onto the dance floor. He noticed me in a way Ethan hadn't in a very long time. I ignored Ethan's texts that kept popping up, because I knew if I answered, it would ruin the vibe. Liam's compliments, his attention. It reminded me what it felt like to be noticed, to be wanted. Time slipped away. Before I realized, it was already well past 2 a.m., long past the curfew I had agreed to. But leaving didn't even cross my mind. The night was too alive, too intoxicating. Liam and I kept ending up next to each other on the dance floor, the sparks undeniable, even if I hadn't gone looking for them. When the club finally shut down at 4 a.m., we all headed to a 24-hour diner. Liam slid into the seat beside me, cracking jokes, telling stories, keeping me laughing until my cheeks hurt. Talking to him reminded me of what it was like to connect with someone, really connect. Ethan and I hadn't shared that kind of conversation in months. When I finally stumbled through the front door at 5 a.m., drunker than I had planned, Ethan was waiting. His face was twisted with anger, demanding answers. I couldn't handle it in that state. I ran to the bathroom, threw up, and passed out on the couch still in my dress. The next morning, I woke up hungover but still buzzing from the night before. Ethan wouldn't look at me. He shut down completely, silent and cold. Later, when we finally talked, it turned into another fight. He called me selfish, reckless, and accused me of being unfaithful. I admitted that Liam had been a little too flirty, maybe even touchy, but I spun it as something I hadn't encouraged. I thought my honesty would count for something. Instead, Ethan exploded, saying I'd crossed the line and couldn't be trusted. He said I was now on probation. Like I was some child needing discipline. But that wasn't even the worst part. 3 weeks later, everything came crashing down. Ethan found messages between me and Liam. Nothing incriminating, just casual conversations, a couple of harmless coffee meetups on lunch breaks. But then Lily, the same Lily whose birthday this was all about, turned on me. Overwhelmed with guilt, she spilled everything to Ethan. She told him I had been chasing Liam that night, talking badly about Ethan to the others, that I was all over Liam at the club. Ethan didn't even question it. He believed every word she said. He broke up with me on the spot, told me to move out by the end of the week, and blocked me on everything. Just like that, I was erased. And Liam? He disappeared just as quickly. The moment I was single, he moved on to another girl at work, like I had never mattered at all. I was left humiliated, back at my parents' place, my reputation in pieces. Ethan moved on almost instantly. Within weeks, he was dating some quiet girl from his office. From the outside, it looked like he had become happier than ever, thriving without me. Meanwhile, I was left branded as the crazy ex no one wanted to deal with. My friends distanced themselves, whispers followed me, and no matter where I went, I felt judged. I tried to chase that high I felt that night, the laughter, the attention, the sense of freedom, but it never lasted. Every time I tried, it left me feeling emptier than before. Eventually, I realized I couldn't stay. I packed my bags and left for Phoenix, hoping that maybe there I could rebuild, start fresh, and finally leave behind the ghost of that night that ruined everything.